Hello all, I hope you are doing good practice. In the last session, we understand just a little bit about what is a prototype in JavaScript. And today we are going to understand what is a inheritance and what is a prototypal inheritance. Okay, if you are coming from the background of C++ or Java, definitely you are well aware of what is inheritance. But here, when it comes to JavaScript, okay, whenever we are going to discuss within the topic called inheritance, we are going to study with a prototypal inheritance. Of course, the conceptually both are same, but here we should study along with the prototypes. So then only, because JavaScript is somewhat different than other programming languages. So but don't worry, we are going to learn in detail. Already we understand what is factory functions, what are constructor functions, and what is a prototype. And today we are going to understand what is prototypal inheritance. Okay, just we can open the VS Code and we can write some code. Let's see, first of all, okay, I will create again. So I will explain what is a constructor function, and then I will give a just brief revise of prototype, and then we can enter into a prototypal inheritance. Okay, I'm just creating a two objects like a player one, and I'm going always with the first name. Okay, again I'm just taking the same example. Okay, Rohit, and the last name is Sharma. Okay, and get a full name. Okay, we know all these things. If you have, I hope you learn all these things. Otherwise, please go back and learn and come back. So here we can write console.log. Okay, and normally I used to write this dot a first name plus, and then you can attach this dot last name. Okay, here I'm going to show you the new way of writing these things. Okay, so just remove these things, just give a double quotation. Okay, and suppose if you want to attach a first name instead of this, okay, instead of double quotations, okay, just use these things like this key is just above a tab key. Okay, just give this a symbol, and now you can write, just give a dollar and curly braces, and this dot, okay, first name, give a space, and if you want to add another variable information, again just give a dollar symbol and give a curly brace. Okay, this dot last name. Okay, I will explain in detail in a separate video why we are writing like this, but at least from today onwards just use these backticks. Okay, this key is just in the keyboard. This symbol is available just below the escape key and just above the tab key. Okay, so this is the modern way of writing things. Okay, I will definitely create a separate video on this, but at least just follow the syntax. Okay, fine, this the first name and last name, get full name. Okay, fine. And in the same way, suppose if you want to create the 10 players information, okay, again you need to write a player 1 and player 2, and you need to go with the Virat and Kokali, and then right, if you do a player 1 dot get full name, it will read the information of the first name of and Rohit and Sharma, and if you go with the player 2 dot get full name, you will get these details. But here, suppose if we have a 10 players or 20 players or 100 players or 200 players, okay, instead of creating objects individually, it's better to go with the a constructor function or a class. Okay, of course, this is indirectly is a prototype. So instead of creating like this, instead of wasting the instead of writing the same logic in a repetitive way, it's better to reuse. Okay, right now this is only one line. Maybe we don't feel that how much lines of code we can save, but in a production applications, definitely the reusability is going to be a very important thing. So this get full name is the the functionality is same in all the objects. So in these situations you can go with, and even properties also similar, right? So we can go with the classes or factory functions or constructor functions. So here I'm just taking the help of a constructor functions. So how to create a constructor function for a players? So simple, give a function and give a name for that construct. Okay, already we understand that the constructor function name should start with a capital letter and just give a generic name, like player 1 player 2 is going to be for object names, but this is like a class. Okay, like a prototype or a blueprint. Okay, so player, and here what we can do normally in a constructor functions, already I told you. Okay, it will create an object with the name this. Okay, like this, and you can bind the information and properties. Okay, this dot, okay, first, the first name, and this constructor function will so you can pass the parameters like first name comma last name. If you provide the first name and last name, it will construct the object for you, and it will return that object. So first name, so you just bind that the first name to this dot first name and this dot last name equal to the last name. And in the similar way we can write this dot get full name. That's we are writing a function, and here the same thing. Okay, you can use it. So if you see now, instead of creating 100 individual objects with the help of a constructor function, you can create easily, and you can do a inheritance. Okay, we are going to take advantage of inheritance. That's what we are going to learn today. So constant, what it will do, it will take care of return also. You don't need to write this one, that's why I'm just commenting, just for understanding purpose. Okay, it will do. So when it will going to do, create a constant, this is equal to new object, and it will return automatically. So already we understand in the last session, but here I will tell you one more time. So now you can create players easily. So I'm just commenting these two objects. So now I'm going to create player 1 and player 2 with the help of a constructor function. So now the constant, okay, player 1 equal to, use the new keyword. Whenever you are going with the constructor functions, we should use a new keyword to create a new object, even for classes also. Okay, just of course in the next session we are going to enter into the classes, a player, and you can pass your information Rohit, okay, Sharma, and the constant player 2 is equal to new player, and here we can write Virat and Kohli. Okay, simple. Okay, already we are discussing from last 2 or 3 sessions, and now I'm just doing like console.log. Okay, player 1 and console.log player 2. So let's see what are the things are available for the player 1 and player 2. Even I will just draw in a paint. This is going to be very, very important. So what we are creating a prototype that is called a player, a class or a constructor function. It's a player. So we are providing the first name, and of course we are passing some information to the player, right? So it will read from that. And what are the properties? The last name, and then get full name. So there is a chance of confusion also, but observe carefully, then it is going to be very easy. So it's like it's a blueprint. This is a blueprint, and whenever you're asking to create a new player, player 1 and player 2, what it will do, it will create two new objects for us. So it will create the first object is a player 1, okay, another object called player 2, and it will find first name and last name. It's completely um, there is no relation between the player 1 and player 2 in this situation. So it will create object with, I'm just giving a shortcut. The first name is like, okay, I will show in the browser as well, the Rohit, and the last name, okay, Sharma. Just give a single quotation, and get full name method is also there. Get the full name. So some whatever the function is there, that will be available for us. In the same way, it will create the first name like Virat, whatever you give, and the last name going to be, okay, Kohli, and get the full name will be that function definition. Okay, these are individual objects here. This is a player 1 and this is, okay, player 2. But these concepts are very, very important. That's why I'm just explaining everything in detail. So just do coding along with me so that you can understand easily. The first name, last name, everything is there. So just let's see things in a browser. So then only we can understand clearly. Right click, inspect, go to the console. So we have two players. So the first one is the player 1 and the second one is the player 2. Player 1, so first CV, first name is there, get full name is there, and the last name is there, and it has a prototype. This is very, very important. Okay, and for player 2 also, the first name is there, Virat, and get full name function is attached to that player 2, and the last name is also there. So there is some reference called prototype is there. So this is a blueprint. This is the blueprint. So what it is doing, along with whenever you ask you like a new a player, okay, it is creating a new object and it is giving all the properties and methods. Along with that, it is giving some prototype. So just imagine this is very, very important. This is the prototype. So it is giving a reference to that prototype to everyone. Okay, it is giving the reference to all the objects. Okay, we are creating player 1 and player 2 with the help of this player constructor function. So it has a prototype, and that will be available for both the people. Okay, now understand carefully, this is going to be very, very important. So now if I add a new method to a player 1, okay, already I've explained yesterday, but if you want to understand inheritance, we should revise one more time. So the player 1 dot, I'm writing man of the match. Okay, man of the man of the match. I'm just writing simple function. Okay, I'm not going to make it complex. This is the function. I'm just attaching. We are attaching a new function to a player one here. Console.log. Console.log. Okay, here you can write this dot the first name, and you can just concatenate in this way. Got the man of the match. Observe carefully. And now, so after that, just try to do a console.log. Okay, player one, player two. Now just refresh and observe carefully in the browser. That is, this is very important. So once you create the object, and if you attach a new method to a player one, okay, here what we are doing, we are attaching to the player one. We are not attaching to a player. We are not attaching anything to a prototype. We are just attaching to the individual player. So the play, we have given this man of the match to player one. So this is completely available for only player one. Observe carefully, just expand it. The first name, get full name, last name is there. Man of the match is available for the player one. And if you open the player two, that method is not available in player two. Observe carefully. Even expand the prototype, you can't see anything. I will explain what is a constructor, and if you see, this is the like this is coming from a player constructor function. That's why the player constructor function, it is expecting a first name and last name, so it is giving. And of course here if you see, this player constructor also have another prototype, okay, that we can discuss in the prototype chain. Okay, in that topic we are going to learn each and everything. So right now just focus on that. So right now this information, this man of the match is attached to only player one object. That means once the object is created, and if you attach anything to the player one, that is going to be available for only player one. This is not going to share with a player two. So we have some privacy. So in the same way, suppose if you give a player two a dot man of the series, okay, man of the series, suppose the function, and the same way just writing like this, first name got the man of the series. So what will happen, this player 2 man of the series method is going to attach to only player 2. Refresh. So if you see, the player 1 has the man of the match and player 2 has the man of the series. So player 1 can't access man of the series and player 2 can't access the man of the match method. So if you want, you can try here itself. So what I'm doing, so player 1 dot man of the match, no problem, and player 2 dot man of the series, we don't have any problem because that is available. That man of the match is attached to the player 1, man of the series is attached to the player 2, so that it's easy for us, no problem so far. So if you see, Rohit got the man of the match and Virat got the man of the series. So this player 1 is the Rohit and player 2 is the Virat Kohli. So now what is a prototype and what is the importance of that prototype? Now we are going to understand with the help of inheritance also. So whenever this man of the match, a method, just imagine that is a method, okay, that is attached to this person, player 1, and man of the series, just imagine this is attached to a player 2. So player 1 can't access this and player 2 can't access this man of the match. But if you want to share the information between all the players, suppose right now I'm taking example of only 2 players, even you can create 10 players or 100 players with the help of that constructor function. And if you attach any method to individual, that is not going to available for other people. But if you want to share some information to all the people, So what we need to do, we need to attach a method to a prototype. This is the prototype. So I'm just giving a good color for that prototype. So this is the prototype. And if you give any kind of, okay, if you attach any method to that prototype, that is going to be available for the both the people. So that's what already we understand. Simply that is called inheritance. Okay, so imagine here I'm just taking another star here. So if you just add any method here, this is going to be available for both the people, and this is the prototype, right? So that is available in the prototype. Okay, once you add it, okay, that is going to attach to this prototype. Then player 1 and player 2 are coming from the same prototype. They are referring the same prototype, so that they can share the information. So now I'm writing some information. So player 1 player 2, instead of attaching a method to a player 1 player 2, so now what we are doing, just attach, okay, I want to attach a method to a player directly, a prototype. So player dot, so if you want to attach some method to that prototype, just do a player dot prototype dot, just give a method name. So this is won the World Cup, because that's a in team effort. So that is going to share between all the people. So here you can write console.log, anyone can write. So here again you can use, of course, go with the backticks and just do a curly braces, then this dot a first name. We can say, you can say that, okay, we won the World Cup. Okay, fantastic. So now if you see, just imagine here, just refresh. So expand this. Okay, you can't see that we won the World Cup in a player 1 and player 2 directly. That is not going to attach it to player 1 or a player 2 or player 3 or any object. Okay, that code. So it is going to attach it to prototype. So if you see, if you attach the prototype, and that prototype is going to be available for all the objects, okay, which you have created with the help of that constructor function. So now this method can be accessible for player 1 and player 2 also. So previously, suppose player 1 has a man of the match, and if you try to access with the help of player 2, then definitely it is going to throw an error. So if you try player 2 man of the match is not available for player 2, so definitely it will throw an error. So player 2 dot man of the match is not a function. So it is saying that it's not a function, that is not available, because you are trying to invoke it. That's why it is saying it's not a function. And here, suppose in case if you try like player 1 dot man of the series, it will also throw an error because you can't access player 2 method. So here also player 1 dot man of the series is not a function, so because that is not available for that. So here player 1 can access man of the match and player 2 can access man of the series, and both the players can access the World Cup. So if you write player 1 dot, here I'm writing player 1 dot won the World Cup. Yes, player 1 also won the World Cup, player 2 also won the World Cup, player 11 also won the World Cup, even player 15 also won the World Cup. So if you see, just refresh, you can say Rohit is saying we won the World Cup, nothing wrong in that. Virat is saying, say that we won the World Cup. Even if you create 11 objects with the help of that constructor function, and if you want to share the information between all the objects, okay, that is called the inheritance. So now if attach any information to this prototype, that prototype is common to all the objects. That's why everyone can access it. Okay, this inheritance means, as in simple terms, if you're taking some information from a parent to a child, that is also inheritance. Okay, suppose, simple example, I will give another example for understanding purpose. So father is there, is a father. Okay, suppose father is there and father has two sons, one son and second son. Suppose father has 100 crores. So first son can access that information from father, and second son also can access that information from that father. This is called inheritance. So here in the previous examples also we are doing the same, right? Inheritance. Here in JavaScript, what we are doing? We are doing with the help of prototype. That's why we can call it as a prototypal inheritance. Okay, nothing more than this. This is very, very simple. Of course, there is another concept called prototype a chain, and there is another one called underscore underscore proto underscore underscore. Then we need to understand what is the difference between the prototype and underscore underscore proto underscore underscore, and what is a prototype chain. So yes, those are very, very important concepts, but first you should understand all these things. Okay, this is the prototype, and we are inheriting the things from the same prototype. This is called the prototypal inheritance. Of course, we have discussed the same thing in the previous video. In that video, I've explained what is a prototype. In this video, with the same example, we understand that a prototypal inheritance. Okay, I hope you guys understood. Okay, if you have done, please do a practice. Okay, please open and log in the browser and observe carefully what are the methods are attaching to the a player, and what are the methods. If you want to attach to the prototype, then definitely you should use a that constructor name dot prototype dot, and you can attach that method. Then only it will be available for all the object. This is called a prototypal inheritance in JavaScript. Okay, this is simple. Of course, we can achieve this with the help of classes also. Okay, who are coming from Java and C Sharp.net, they are completely familiar with this class based approach. But in JavaScript, before introducing classes also, we were able to achieve this inheritance with the help of constructor functions. Okay, then what is the need of introducing the classes means, just here in JavaScript, classes are exactly similar to our constructor functions with a slight change. Okay, and classes are going to be very, very easy. Okay, instead of constructor writing, because end of the day it is using constructor functions only. JavaScript was built on constructor functions itself. Okay, I will show you, um, like when we are going to discuss like a prototypal inheritance with prototype chain. Okay, in that video we are going to understand this constructor functions. Okay, in JavaScript, everywhere, even a number, a string, and everything indirectly is going to be an object, and that object is going to use this prototype and prototype inheritance and all these concepts. Okay, so definitely you are going to love that concept once you do a practice. Okay, this is called inheritance. And of course, if you want to understand the inheritance completely, definitely we should enter into our classes. Okay, in the next session we are going to learn the classes in JavaScript. At the same time, in the classes also, we are going to understand what is the prototype in that, and how we can achieve this prototypal inheritance with the help of classes. Then you will get a clear picture what is the difference between the constructor function and the classes. Then we are going to learn prototype chain, and the most important concepts as well. Okay, thank you. And please do practice. If you understand this concept, just in the comment just mention understood, or if you feel some any trouble, just ping me what is your question. Definitely I will try to answer for that. Okay, thank you, and see you in the next video. Bye bye. Where is this close button?